governor. Can you do accents now? No? You can be a mime? Not a meme, but a mime. Okay, anyways, and we're back. So, today we're actually going to dive into kind of some of the insecurities that we have. Yeah, so get ready. So we're going to start with Brylan today, which is kind of exciting.
First.
You were born first, so it makes sense. But, so yeah, Brylan, tell us a little bit about the insecurities that you've dealt with and how you've dealt with them and what's it got you today.
Where do we start? So I think the funny thing too is, again, a lot of you guys get to follow us through social media, and some of you guys probably don't know us from Adam or Eve. That was so good. We didn't even plan that. We should have planned that.
We did.
That would have been better if we...
Yeah.
But some of you guys probably don't know us at all. Some of you that do know us, again, we see the highlight reel in everyone's life, right? We see the hashtag blessed, hashtag greatest vacation ever, hashtag lost 105 pounds. So we see the highs of the journey. We see the mountaintops of people's journey. But before the mountaintop, there's the climb up there. Back to Miley Cyrus again, right? Probably reference her all the time. But I think that one of the biggest areas, and I still struggle with this a lot, I think would be people pleasing, right? Growing up, sports might have played a little role in that, because it's like you want to be the best. You want people to like you for something sometimes other than who you really are or what you really are, the things that you really believe in. So I love making people laugh. And I'm not sure where I picked up this habit or when I picked up this habit. I've always been super... That's not true. I was really shy growing up, but about 6th grade, I all of a sudden found a sense of humor, and it's stayed with me ever since. But I've also had this part of me that felt like I had to perform in order to get love, or I had to give sometimes even more than I was capable of giving, but I found a way to do it in order for someone to like me back. You know, I always made it a point to go out of my way, and if there was 10 birthday parties of my friends in the same day, like, I found a way to go to all 10. And what I found was, a lot of the times, I was so busy pleasing everyone else. Like, yes, I'll go to your birthday party. Yes, I'm going to your engagement party. Yes, I'm going to surprise you here. I was just like pouring out, that when I'd go home after those days, I was so empty. I was so empty, and I couldn't figure out why I kept giving of myself to other people, but wouldn't take that time to dive into me. And I think it's just the scariest thing that we have to do sometimes is look at ourselves in the mirror, right? So when you're busy pouring into others, like, we make excuses that, oh, I'm such a good person because I did this and this for Billy Joe Bob. I have no friends named Billy Joe Bob. So just talking in code a little bit there, but you in your mind, you make this story up in your mind that, like, oh, I'm this great, phenomenal person because I'm making everyone around me happy. Meanwhile, myself in my own room, in my own bed, like, praying to the Lord at night, like, was just super empty. So that is probably one of the biggest things that I had to overcome. And I think that a lot of people pleasing was overcome in my life with literally the word no. Like, it could be one of the most powerful words in the English language, and actually Spanish too. So so just saying no and not having to explain it, like, no, I can't go to that. No, I don't want to do that. You know, like, and feeling like that I don't have to justify that answer. No.
So,
no, I don't want that. So that was a huge, and I still, till this day, struggle with that. Like, when I'm invited to things, and mind you, there's a part of my life where, like, I was the one inviting everyone. I knew what was going on in the out scene and the night scene Sunday through Sunday. I could walk you through the lineup of bars through all of my college from Monday to Sunday, what I was doing that night, who was coming, who the DJ was going to be, who was on my guest list. So a lot of that was me. And as I started to like different things and dive into different things and grow in different ways, trying to say no to some of those things, I was like, I didn't want to do it, but I almost wanted to be there because of fear of missing out and people pleasing.
FOMO.
Yeah.
So now that you are working on the non-people pleasing, what are some of the things that you're doing for yourself? Like, what are some of the things that you do for yourself to please yourself? Sounds weird, but what are the things you're doing?
This is the weirdest personal growth YouTube sometimes, right?
Sometimes,
like, no filter.
Real
Or just super, like, inappropriate.
Yeah, I am.
That's an abbreviation.
If you know me, and she knows me, I'm the most vulgar person that you'll meet, and I'm keeping it real, raw, and regular now. But I'm saying,
you're gonna have to cut that tagline out.
What are some of the things that you're doing for yourself to help you cope through not people pleasing? Like I know you personally. I know what you go through at night too. But just kind of share how you're getting through, like the insecurities, like of not missing out or of missing out because you were so popular, because you were the always yes person everywhere you are, taking yourself out of that scene. How are you dealing with that?
I gotta be honest, sometimes
Caught her off guard.
No, I think it's funny because we say like, oh, we've overcome this insecurity, and not that I think that I'm completely have overcome that part of my life, but I think by allowing myself to get to know Brylan, right? Allowing myself to understand the things that I want in my future, allowing myself to write down my goals and revisit my goals and understand like, this is what I want, and then realizing if I were doing these different things, or if I was on the scene 5 out of 7 nights a week, or even 7 out of 7 nights a week, because I was on it. But even
She really was.
Stop trying to call me out.
I was too sometimes.
She was not. She was a
I've
homebody.
Always.
But I think literally allowing myself to get to know myself, allowing myself to get to know what I wanted for my future, those played tremendous roles, right? The fear of missing out is a huge, it's real. I mean, companies use it for selling their products, seminars use it. Everyone uses that tactic as like, hey, you gotta, get this before it sells out. Black Friday, it's a fear of missing out. Like, do you really need $700 worth of electronics? No, but it's only Black Friday once a year. And that's kind of the same as the people pleasing part. So for me, it was just really diving in, really trying to figure out who are you, what do you want out of your life? And if you go and are trying to please everyone else, will you get to the end goal? And the answer again, here comes that most powerful word, it was no. Like, no, those things are not going to get you closer to where you want to be. No, doing this right now will not make you happier at the end of the night. It might be awesome for the 2 hours. And also I think part of what started happening was saying no at first was hard. So even when I wanted to say no and said yes, I was going. And I have an amazing friend, Alyssa. She lives in California. She one time told me, like, baby girl, there is nothing worse than spending time out doing something that you don't want to do, or spending time doing something and feeling more drained afterwards doing it. And that just like hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, why do I keep saying no to these things that why do I keep saying yes to these things that I really want to say no to? And I caught myself out one night at a bar, and there was a bunch of people around me, and I have nothing against going out and having a good time. I love the dance circle. I was the dance circle girl or boy.
That we were like, ooh, come battle us.
So there was nothing wrong with that, but it was at a point in my life where I wasn't drinking at that time, and I was just really focusing on my health, and I just was watching my surroundings. And someone else that I really care for, he sent me a text message from across the bar, and he said, Brylan, why do you keep trying to fit in to a world that you were meant to stand out of? And I was like, man, there goes those bricks again. So I think another part of the people pleasing was having people around me that held me accountable to those goals that I was writing down, that held me accountable to the person that I said that I wanted to be. Because you can want something all day long. Like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. But your will has to be way greater than your want. Your will to lose weight, your will to get up and go to the gym, your will to eat healthy, your will to do the things that takes you to meal prep has to be greater than your want. Because really, you want to lose weight, but you also want the pizza, right? You want to lose weight, but you also want vodka soda. And it just doesn't work. So you're always going to want things. Your emotions are always going to tell you otherwise. So with people pleasing and getting over that, it was literally having accountability partners, having people that knew where I wanted to go, reading books of people that were going where I wanted to be, and just really, really diving in to Brylan. And again, for whoever's watching, you might be watching this right now, like, you probably know some of your friends better than you know yourself. And that was literally where I was living. I knew the people around me, favorite color, favorite ice cream, favorite TV show, I knew everything. Like, I could get them the best gift because I just knew them better than I knew me. And that's not a place that I wanted to live. I literally wanted to learn to love me the way I was so easily able to love others. So people pleasing had to change, and it's a huge thing, and I still work on it till this day. So
oh, that was really good. I was like, yeah, because a lot of things that she hit, I mean, we both have the same kind of people pleasing, I want to say gift in a sense, because we know people. When we meet people, we get to know them fast, and they feel safe almost, talking to us all the time. Like, everywhere I go, a random stranger that I've never met, when I walk away from that conversation, I know his whole entire life. So I think we have that gift of
gift of gab.
I think we have that gift of having people around us, but there comes a fine line about, being good to others.
I'm sorry.
I know, she just pulled out like a Golden Girl.
Oh, man.
Accent
I
thing.
make myself laugh. See?
Yeah.
I'm pleasing me.
Yeah. I'm preaching. I'm reaping what I sow. Preaching what I preach. But anyways, we're wrapping this up. But the bottom line, the goal is, when it comes to people pleasing, there's a fine line of being good to others and pouring all of yourself into others. It's good to pour into others, but it's also good to get your cup poured into as well. So
that was so good. And something that she just touched on, it like literally just went in my brain. I don't know where that sound effect came from. But she said being good to others. And so probably a book that I dive into all the time, the Bible. If you have one, read it. But it says...
#1 seller.
You are so goofy. You are so goofy, girl. You so goofy when you goofy. But it says, love your neighbor as yourself, which first requires that you love yourself. So if you haven't figured out how to properly love you, understand you, know you, then you're almost loving other people in the wrong way, right? Because are you doing it because you want them to like you? Or was I giving people gifts because I needed them to like me? Was I going to all these birthday parties because I needed them to like me? Probably sometimes. Sometimes I really, probably sometimes. But I don't care. I like myself. Yeah. My nephew says this all the time. You don't like me? That's okay. I like myself. That's where I'm at right now, is working to that point. And I'm not all the way there, but I'm a lot farther than where I started. So again, if this is something that you struggle with, let us know the things that you're doing to overcome it. I would say write down your goals.
Ooh, that's
write down,
that's a big one.
Try new things. I know that I love athletics. I know that I love hikes. I love the water. I love the water. The ocean, the pool, a lake, a glass of water, if you will. I love the water. It is so calming to me.
Parched. She said, I love a glass of water.
I love a good glass of water. Accents.
From Ohio?
Oh, that's a different episode. Different is not a word. Different. But so, for you going through that part of your life, find out who you are. Dive into who you are. And I think that people pleasing will slowly start to fade away.
Wither away.
Put the in button. We love you guys.
We love you. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.